And welcome to another VIP MasterCast. In this hangout, we'll introduce you to three more leading experts on the subject of authority marketing, featuring
international speaker and sales training specialist Eric Lofholm on the topic of sales training, how to get over the fear of selling and capitalize on the new economy.
And subject of relationship marketing. We also have with us relationship marketing specialist Terry Rock on the topic of it's not about e-commerce, it's about our commerce. And what do you think our commerce? What do you think the R is?
Well, I'm super smart. It's relationship.
Awesome.
And I don't think about art, art relationships, business relationships. And social media marketing specialist, Miss Gina Carr, and she's also the co-author of Clout for Business, and it's how to engage customers, build your digital influence, and raise your clout score for success.
Actually, I think the topic is Clout for Business. Her book is, I think, Clout Matters. See, we got to get the facts right, folks. Clout Matters. See, who did their homework here?
All right, you did.
Okay, hi friends. It's Ray and Maria here. We're the happily married hosts and producers of the Strip Live television talk show based in Las Vegas. We're happy, right? Happy. And founders of VegasNetMedia.com.
Also the co-creators of VIPMasterCAST.com and VIPShowcase.com, where we feature some of the world's most successful and influential people, and that's why you're here today.
Okay, so you're wondering, what is VIP MasterCAST? Yeah, we wonder that too sometimes, but no, it's very simple. A VIP MasterCAST is an authority site. It's an authority visiting site. Now, we've been in the business now of interviewing celebrities, entrepreneurs, and industry experts in Las Vegas for about 10 years with our talk show, and we've had the opportunity to interview some of the biggest A-list celebrities in the world, and our show is very positive, and we like to go behind the scenes and ask people how they got to where they are currently. I mean, how did you become so successful? So for many years, people have asked us to share with them, like, oh my God, how did you get to be able to go backstage with people like Stevie Wonder and sit in their rooms and make these kind of type of connections? When they find out our background, they realize, no, we're not Access Hollywood, and no, not Ryan Seacrest, and we certainly are not Oprah, and don't have her or their budget to market
or clout.
I mean, I spent 20 years as a firefighter and paramedic, and went and became a professional speaker. And somewhere along that journey, the two of us put our heads together and said we wanted to relocate to Las Vegas and have a talk show. And so people go, well, how do you do that? How do you have such really different backgrounds, and all of a sudden you're interviewing all these celebrities? And I'd have to say it has to do with what we learned along the way of how to position yourself as a leading authority and credible expert in your industry. So as we were doing our talk show, people were asking us, geez, you need to teach that. You need to show people. So as a result, we created a spin-off site, VIP MasterCAST. Now, VIP has two meanings. One is we call very influential people. I don't like the term very important people because I think everything's important, but very influential people. And the other one is because our specialty along the way is video, and we've been creating video information products for clients for years. We also call that video information products because what you're seeing at VIP MasterCAST is a behind-the-scenes look of us actually creating information products with our guest experts. Now, you're going to see the cuts, the blunders, the bloopers. We're not going to hide that from you because we're live. We can't. There's no delay. I mean, as soon as we make a mistake, it's gone. It's out there. But what we do with the product afterwards is we put it into post-production. We clean it up nicely so that it looks sweet and awesome. And then we provide that product to our guest experts for the purpose of their positioning. Now, once we've created a product for them and they've been a guest on our show, think about what you can do with your marketing. You can now go to any PR agency and say, hey, would you like to interview me? And they'll say, well, sure, where have you been interviewed before? And if you have not been interviewed on a so-called talk show, you can say, Well, I was interviewed on the Strip Live in Las Vegas, and they've interviewed some of the biggest names in the world, like Stevie Wonder, Tony Bennett, Will Ham, and the list goes on. And what we do is use a strategy called name dropping. You drop some names. Now they say, well, if you're good enough for their show, you're good enough for our show. So we built a whole product line around that, where you can now then learn from us. They're very minimal. If you want to just join us every week, every Friday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, you come on for free and learn from 3 new experts. And if you want to go beyond that, well, you just scour our website and you'll find all the various ways that you can work directly with us, where we can then help you get positions. That's what this is all about, and I know you're going to enjoy the content, because we actually spend time with each expert doing pre-production calls, and this is not so much like you would be probably accustomed in a Hangout to see an interview style. We'll have a little bit of that, but mostly it's, again, us creating an information product as producers, and you'll have an opportunity to hear from each expert on their hottest topic that they tell us is what their clients are asking for, and they're going to open up for 10 minutes looking right into the camera, providing the best stuff that they know.
And this is really fantastic for everyone, because what would it cost financially for you to contact these experts, to call them up and say, hey, can I get 10 minutes of your time? And and vice versa. So it's such an incredible platform. We want to thank all of our experts that do come full out. They give all their information for all of us to learn. So we're really excited today to have our 3 experts on.
And join us for this week's live Hangout on Air to learn how to showcase your authority and expertise to your market, to attract more media attention, get more high-paying clients, sell more products and services, and make more money.
So our first expert showcase is Eric Lofholm. He's a master sales trainer who has trained tens of thousands of sales professionals nationwide. He is the president and CEO of Eric Lofholm International, Inc., an organization he founded to serve the needs of sales professionals worldwide. And if you're on today, you are one of those salespeople.
And the topic is sales training, how to get over the fear of selling and capitalize on the new economy.
During this segment, I want to talk about addressing fear and how do you overcome fear in the sales process. And I really understand a lot about this, because when I got started in sales 21 years ago, I was the bottom producer at my company, and my manager pulled me into his office and he said, Eric, you're my bottom producer, you've missed quota 2 months in a row, and we have a 3 strikes and you're out rule, so you've got 1 more month to hit your quota or we're going to fire you. And so I was in a place in my life where I was filled with fear, and I had a very real problem. I didn't know how to sell. And so I started looking for answers, and it was at that point that I was introduced to my first mentor. His name is Dr. Donald Boyne, and he provided professional sales training. And for the first time in my life, I knew what to do, which gave me the confidence. So as you're watching this right now, if you're dealing with any fear around the sales process, the first thing I want to tell you is that that's normal. And not only is it normal, it's not your fault. Because let's face it, in our culture, there's a stigma to selling. I've asked literally thousands of people all over the world, what do you think of when you think of a salesperson? And the answers that I get are arm twisting, high pressure, manipulation, selfish, used car sales. And that's literally how our culture programs us. And so now, if you're watching this right now, you've got a huge heart, you care about people, and you don't want to be any of those things that I just described. And so you might go out in your sales presentation and try and do it without being, quote unquote, salesy. I'm often hear from my clients, and they'll say things like, well, I want to go out and sell, but I'm not trying to sell the other person anything. They'll use language like that, which is a way of them communicating to me that they have a tremendous amount of fear around selling. And so what I discovered is this: things only have the meaning that we give them. If you make sales mean arm twisting, high pressure, manipulation, if you have a resistance to selling, if that's your mindset, then unfortunately you'll probably fear sales for the rest of your career. Now, there is a great alternative, and I want to share that alternative with you. And I've actually helped many, many clients all over the world create a breakthrough around their fear and their resistance to sales. And I teach 3 ways to elevate your sales results: the inner game, the outer game, and action. And what we're talking about right now is the inner game, or your mindset around sales. And there's a concept that's taught in NLP. NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And even if you're not familiar with NLP, it's simply the study of human excellence. And the distinction that's taught is called reframing. And so the event is the event, but we can change our experience of the event by changing the meaning. In other words, sales is sales, but we can change our experience of sales by changing the meaning of sales. And I'm going to take that concept and I'm going to actually combine it with the distinction that I learned from Napoleon Hill, who's the author of Think and Grow Rich. And Napoleon Hill taught us in that book that a way to reprogram your subconscious mind for success is a distinction he calls autosuggestion. And so autosuggestion simply means you say something to yourself over and over and over again, and you can literally change the way that you think. So if you have resistance to selling, I'm going to teach you right now how do you let go of that resistance by applying the distinction of autosuggestion. So my definition of sales, I'm going to say this 3 times, and if you have resistance to sales, I want to encourage you to write this down. And I want you to write down word for word, and I'm going to give you a very specific instruction. Move at the speed of instruction. So here it is. Selling equals service. So write this down right now. Selling equals service. Sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action. Now I'm going to say that 2 more times, a little slower, and I want you to write this down. This could create a breakthrough for you in your mindset around sales. Selling equals service. Sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action. I'm going to say it one last time. Selling equals service. Sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action. Change begins in language. And there's a vocabulary to success, and there's a vocabulary to sales greatness. And so what I'm sharing with you through that affirmation is literally the mindset of a sales champion. That's my mindset about sales. And so the way that you reprogram your subconscious mind for success, you literally take the affirmation that I just gave you, the selling equals service affirmation, and you say it 10 times a day for the next 30 days. You say it out loud or to yourself. And what you'll probably begin to notice is you're going to begin to let go of your resistance to selling, and you're going to begin to embrace sales. Now, the power of that is that if this, in fact, happens for you, we're talking about an instant improvement in your mindset, literally for the rest of your life. We're talking about you potentially completely letting go of the fear of selling and learning how to embrace sales. So that's an inner game strategy. And I want to talk to you about a couple of other points here that have to do with the outer game of selling. And in my language, the outer game is the how-tos. And so back when I had my breakthrough with Dr. Moyne and I was literally living in fear around sales, part of it was mindset, but part of it was the how-tos. And that's where you're going to increase your confidence. Because at the end of the day, if you truly want to be successful with your selling and you're experiencing any fear at all, you need to know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, why to say it. And this is why professional training is so important. For most people, selling is not intuitive. I was not a naturally born salesperson. It wasn't until I was professionally trained that I saw an increase in my sales results. And so the thing about sales, in my experience, and I've been in this conversation now for 21 years, the thing that I found about it, it's actually quite simple once you know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, it can be one of the most frustrating experiences you've ever had in your life. So the last idea I want to share with you around this, it has to do with the words of your presentation. And in my world, I call that sales scripting. So what I do to build extreme confidence in my presentation is I script out my presentation, and then I practice it over and over and over again. And then I role play it over and over and over again. Now, when I go on the live presentation, it's not that I'm delivering it word for word. I've internalized the script to the point where I've become the script, and I use the script as a guideline. I can weave in and out of the presentation, but the key distinction is I know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, why to say it, especially when it comes to asking for the order. So before I walk into a presentation, I'm crystal clear, number one, what is my outcome of that presentation? And then equally important, exactly what's my language that I'm going to say at the end when I'm asking for the order. And an example of this is if I'm taking on coaching clients and I'm looking for 7 coaching clients. When I get to the end of my presentation, I'm going to say something maybe exactly word for word like this. The final thing I'm going to say is, would you like to be one of the 7 clients that I work with? And then I'm going to be silent. And I'm empowering the prospect to make a decision at that point. The key idea here is simply that I'm prepared and I know what to say. So the summary points of what I am sharing today, one is to change your language around sales. Instead of saying sales is arm twisting, high pressure manipulation, if you choose to believe that, you're going to resist sales most likely for the rest of your life. So change begins in language. We're going to change it. And I gave you the affirmation, and I gave you the instruction to say it 10 times a day, out loud or to yourself, for the next 30 days. That's an inner game strategy. And then the outer game strategy is you script out your presentation, you get the language down, you practice it, you role play it, and especially when it comes to asking for the money, so you know exactly what to say, the language that you're going to use in the end. Those couple of tips right there, without exaggerating, could create a massive breakthrough for you in your selling and potentially create a permanent change in the way that you sell for the rest of your life.
So that's an example of what an expert showcase segment should look like. That was amazing.
Phenomenal.
And the thing is, with Eric, we've known Eric for at least 10 years, and what's consistent about Eric is he's always been a sales training expert, and the things he's taught along the way. A lot of people kind of flip-flop on what they do, but Eric has been consistent with his message, and the reason is his message is timeless. It's not, what he's teaching is not going to go out of date. It's a formula that works, and it will work consistently. And he gave you the formula, so it's just up to you now to put it into action and watch your results, watch your sales soar. So let's find out more about what Eric's up to these days.
Yeah, Eric, thank you so much for that. When we say 10 minutes of intense training, you did it, my friend. So I know that you have a couple of projects going on. I know that absolutely amazing. You do something once a month that you provide some free training for people who are wanting to get over their fear of sales and actually start implementing and increasing their sales conversion. So I'll let you have the floor. What would you like to share about that program or anything else?
Yeah, so we've gone into the web-based sales training space, and so we don't really teach in hotel ballrooms anymore. We just let people train over the internet, and once a month we do a free 3-hour professional sales training that I deliver. It's web-based, so you just go to my website, saleschampion.com, and you look up the next one, and you can register totally for free. And it's a way where people from all over the world can receive high-quality training. And so that's one thing that we're excited about. And I just launched my signature book last year in November, and it's called The System. And so that you can get that on Amazon.com. It teaches my entire sales process. It's an in-depth book. We don't hold anything back. We don't say, well, here's some of it, and to get the rest, you've got to hire me. No, we just give it all away, the entire sales system. You can get it right on Amazon.com for under $10, and it became a bestseller on Amazon. It's been very, very successful. And so those are 2 things that we have going on that I'm really, really excited about.
Thank you so much. And Eric, what's the best website if people want to get more information about any additional products and services or more information about you?
Yeah, the easiest thing to do is just go to our main site, which is saleschampion.com.
And for those of you who are looking for sales training, you need to get on with Eric. There's so many of our colleagues have worked directly with him, have nothing but incredible things to say. And again, we appreciate you so much, Eric, and of course, we'll always be working. Terry Brackett is an author and an International Hall of Fame social media marketing speaker. With an MBA in marketing, his focus is on solid business strategies to build relationships and real-world business applications to improve the bottom line.
And the topic Terry will be presenting on in this session is relationship marketing. It's not about e-commerce, it's about R-commerce. And the R means relationships. And we're going to move on now to Terry Brock. Okay, so Terry, we met Terry recently at New Media Expo in Las Vegas, and it was by a mutual friend of ours, Joel Calm, and I said, you know, show me some influencers, Joel. He knows influencers, and he says, well, let me introduce you to a couple, Gina and Terry, and they're both on the show today. And Terry, you know, very quickly we got into a discussion of what's going on with technology, because he is a technology guru. But for the purpose of this show,
I was going to say technology geek, but guru sounds better.
Guru sounds better. But and I'm not really sure what guru means. We use that term a lot, but I just know it means it's something good. Like, he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
But for the purpose of this episode, he's going to be speaking on relationship marketing, because he is a co-author with Gina on a book, and Gina will be covering more of that detail on a book called Clout Matters. So it is about influence, it's about relationships, and we're gonna bring Terry up. There he is.
Yeah,
well, hello there, and it's great to be with both of you today. And through the wonders of technology, Google Plus Hangout, when it works, then it's great. It's just that, you know, like we were saying, I think before, you know, when the technology works, ooh, it's great. When it doesn't, you just want to strangle it, you know. But that's legal in the state of Florida. Laws are different here. So, you know, but it's a different thing. But yeah, you're right. The relationship marketing is something I've been talking about for a long time, and it's really important because when you get down to it, and I talk to a lot of successful people around the world, the most important thing in business is relationships. Yeah. Establishing, building, and then here's the real kick, training and maintaining those relationships, keeping them going, keeping those relationships on an even keel, keeping it going all the time. And really, that's what business has been about for a long time. It's not a matter of, I love the way Eric said it, you know, you've got to really build that trust with people. And you don't just come in, you know, like with that derby hat on, chomping on a cigar and saying, hey, we'll make you a really good deal today. Yeah, we can drop the price. Da, 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 da. You know, most of us are repulsed at that approach. And when we see that, we go, ooh, yuck, you know. And even when it's not just with the government, but when it's other people too, you know, we're saying, no, we don't want that stuff. And so what we want is we want a real, honest to goodness commitment and connection from others. It's why I like to say, as I say in my book, that it's not about the e-commerce and all the electronics. The e-commerce is good. We use that, and hey, I'm kind of geeky, love that stuff. I'm a nerd, you know, we like it. But what really matters is the R commerce, relationships, and building relationships so that you're really helping the other person, showing them that you really care, listening to what they have to say. Our friend Chris Brogan says it so well. We need to grow bigger ears. Listen more, rather than just talking. You know, yeah, exactly, just like that. That's right. He goes, hey, here's what it is. So we can say we want to be able to really connect with people, find out what they're liking. I've noticed, maybe you've seen people like this. Maybe the two of you have seen people that have what I call eye trouble. Now, I'm not talking about I, like E-Y-E trouble, not that. The people go, well, I did this, and I did that, and I can tell you about my product, and we do this, and I do this, and I do that, and you just feel like strangling them again, you know, and you're just like, no, let's not. And we're not advocating strangling anywhere. Anyone, lawyers listening to the program, we do not recommend that at all. So, but what we do want is to really genuinely care, and that's where I think we're at a wonderful time right now in life with social media. Because social media really works best when you engage with people. That's what Gina and I talked about in our book. Matter of fact, here we go, shameless plug, our book, Clout Matters. Yeah, I just happen to have a copy with me. There it is, like that. Excellent. But you see, it's about engaging with people, finding out what they're like. Too many people try to go into social media, and they treat it in the old spray and pray method. You know, we're just going to spray it out there and then pray that maybe somebody somehow is going to buy what we've got. And that doesn't work anymore. We've taken the marketing model and flipped it upside down on its head. And I'm glad. Because instead of going out and just buying newspaper ads or radio broadcasts or TV, all these stuff, and just spraying it out there to everybody and hope that maybe one or two people over there or somewhere here will pay attention to it, now we engage with people. That's the way to do it best. You listen to what people are saying, grow those bigger ears, as Chris Brogan tells us, make sure that we're listening, and then respond to them. Because when you think about it, that's what we all want. The people that are doing that massive spraying out there and using just the obnoxious forms of marketing and blanketing or blasting a message out, they use that term, blasting a message out. I say, hey, how do you like to be blasted with all these messages? What do you call that? Oh, that's spam. I don't like it. Yeah, well, Sparky, what do you think your folks think of it? They don't like it either. So why do something that nobody really likes? Don't do it. Our friend Jeffrey Gitomer says it very well. He's written the Little Red Book of Selling and many other great books. He says that social media is the new cold calling. Just making a cold call to someone is, well, frankly, not very effective. People go, no, I don't have any. I don't need it. Hang up. But if you do your homework, you go out onto social media and you find out what this person is interested in. Get in touch with them on LinkedIn. Find out the groups where they are. Find out what they're interested in. Build a relationship with them, and then contribute value, so that if you find out they're interested in a particular charity in your town, well, you get involved in that. You make a contribution to that charity. You get to know them as a human being. Then they get to know you, and you give them even more value. Here's what we can do to help you. Here's a way that we can assist and help you out in that. And they're going, wow, I really like this person. I'm glad that she's contributing. I'm glad he's a part of that group. And then they're going to say, by the way, what do you do? Oh, well, we sell widgets for people that need such and such. And they go, really? We need those widgets every now and then. We would prefer to deal with you than someone else. So it's a human way of dealing with people, human relationships. And really, that's what it's all about. Social media is about the engagement. It's not about this spraying or broadcasting. And you see the people that will get on Twitter, and they're just sending something out, not engaging. And by the way, that does not help your clout score. If you want to find out about clout, hey, that's very important. Instead, it's about relationships and relationship marketing. And what we've got to do is really lock into learning and constantly growing. It's a story I think that's really important that I often talk about when I'm speaking to groups at different places from the movie The Matrix. I'm talking about the good one, the first one. The other two, they weren't that good. But the first one was really good. Remember, there was a scene there where Trinity and Neo were shooting at and fighting the bad guys. And the bad guys were dressed up in the helmets, and they had their 20th century guns, and they looked like soldiers and everything. And they were shooting at them. They had a helicopter way off in the distance there. And so they were really going at it. And after a while, Trinity and Neo got all the bad guys, and they're all lying there on the ground, and the helicopter's over there in the distance, and it's going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And he looks over at her and said, "Can you fly that thing?" And she looked over at him and said those immortal words, "Not yet." So what she did is she grabbed her cell phone and she called back to a place in their headquarters to a guy called Tank. That's what they called him. She goes, "Tank, I need a pilot program for a B-212 helicopter. Hurry!" Oh, okay, kind of work with me on this. It was a science fiction movie, okay? So she's blinking her eyes and all this, and it's finally downloading the instructions through the cell phone into her brain. She got it, and she looked over to him and said, "Let's go." And they took off, and well, I won't spoil the movie for those that haven't seen it, but let's just say that from that point forward, it did not go well for the bad guys. And what they did is they went out and they were able to do what's necessary. But I love those words, those two words that she said that are the key for all of us in the future. And that is when someone says, well, can you do such and such? Instead, many people go, "Oh, yeah, I can't do that," or, "Oh, I'm not a technical person," or, "Oh, we have problems, I hear, with Google Plus Hangout." No, they don't say that. Instead, she said, "Not yet." And you see, "not yet" has built into it the seed of the greatness that you will be able to do. You're not lying to yourself. You're not jumping up on a chair and going, "Yes, I have $1 billion. Yes, I can do it." Or something stupid like you'll see in so many seminars of, "Hey, you're terrific and I'm terrific too. Jump up and look like an idiot." No, we're not doing that. Instead, they're saying, well, can you do such and such video? Well, not yet. That's true, but it also doesn't mean you'll never be able to do it. It also means you're willing to pay the price. You're going to read the books. You're going to watch the videos. You're going to invest in the courses. You're going to enroll in the courses at a local university. You'll hire the coach. You'll do whatever is necessary so that you will be able to do that. Someone says, can you do the Oogie Woogie, which will be whatever's coming out next year on new social media? And you go, no, I don't know about that, but not yet. I'm going to figure out how to do it. And you see, that's what relationship marketing is all about. It's meeting the needs of other people, helping them. We're not going to always be able to do everything the first time. But if we have that determination to say, can I do that? Not yet, but I'm willing to pay the price in time, money, and effort, and I will make it happen. And when you do that, then it starts happening in the right way. I love the way that Ben Franklin said it. He said, to pour the coins of your purse into your mind, and your mind will overflow your purse with coins. And I think, yep, old Ben was right on that one too, that if we are willing to put forth the effort, we can do it. Too many people sit back and go, well, I'm not going to pay for that thing. No, I don't want that. It's like if I said, hey, I want to become a medical doctor. I'm 18 years old. I want to become a medical doctor, but I'm not going to go to medical school. No, I just want to do it because I care in my heart. Well, you can care all you want there, buddy, but it doesn't matter. You know, Scooter, you got to go to medical school like the rest of them, okay? You got to pay your time, money, and effort, make it happen. And that's what relationships are about. It's going to cost. It'll take your time, money, and effort. But when you do that, you'll see a lot more benefits come back, and it makes it all worth possible. Yep, it's about our commerce, not about the e-commerce, and I think that's the most important thing. So, and I appreciate what the two of you are doing. You're demonstrating that our commerce by using it, staying in there, making sure we can get it through. And hey, is the computer and are the technologies in Google Plus Hangout perfect right now? Not yet, but you just wait. We're going to stay with it, and we're going to make it happen. And I would love to hear from you. You can get in touch with me on this thing called the Internet. It's still out there. Yes, indeed, even though I think we might go back to stone knives and bear skins. I don't know. Sometimes when it doesn't work, you feel like that. But you can reach me, terrybrock.com. What a concept, huh? terrybrock.com, and that's Terrybrock. Brock is spelled the right way. So you do it that way. And don't forget our shameless plug here, our wonderful book, Clout Matters. Really, it's more than just clout. It's how to do social media right. Doing social media as a good social media citizen, which, by the way, really boosts your bottom line and helps make your banker smile and your accountant smile, and we love to see those accountants smile. So, hey, thank you very much, and if I can help you any more, let me know. You can get all the information on me over at terrybrock.com. Thank you.
So, Ray and Maria here, and we just had an opportunity to have Terry Brock on our show, and I'm telling you, I just met this guy just a few weeks ago and through a mutual acquaintance, highly recommended. And the experience we've had is nothing short of phenomenal as to how much this gentleman gives. The topic we did with him was relationship marketing, so he's clearly the person. He's clearly the expert in that area because
and very funny.
He made us.
He's a funny guy.
Made us feel very, very special, and we will be doing a lot of work with him. I encourage you to also work with him. How many thumbs up we want to give Terry? Okay.
If I had more, actually, if I had more, I would give you more thumbs up.
Okay, so thanks, Terry.
I really enjoyed working with the two of you. It was great because we had some fun. I love the way you went through beforehand with a checklist to say, do this, be sure and do that. Real world things that come because you didn't do this just starting yesterday. You've been doing this a while. You did not fall off the turnip truck yesterday, as they say back home out in the country where I grew up. But instead, you work with it, you make people feel comfortable. We have fun, and you provide really good content. It's not just fun and games. Yes, that's nice, and it's a part of it, but you give us really what we want. I think it's the way Mark Sanborn describes it, that the reason we have cherry cough syrup is you take it to get rid of the cough. You've got an issue that needs to be addressed. We've got business. We need to run it. We need to learn how to do it. But you use cherry so it goes down better. We want to take it. We make it more pleasant that way, and you two do that very well. It's an honor to work with you, and I'm looking forward to doing a whole lot more with you in the future.
Gina Carr is an entrepreneur, speaker, and marketing consultant who works with CEOs and thought leaders to leverage social media marketing for publicity, profits, and success. Gina holds an MBA from Harvard and combines street smarts with book smarts to help businesses grow.
And Gina's topic is Clout for Business, how to engage customers, build your digital influence, and raise your clout score for success.
Have you ever wondered if what you're doing on social media is a big waste of time? Well, a lot of friends do ask me, they say, Gina, I feel like I spend all my time on social media and I just don't know if it's working, I don't know if anybody's listening to me, I don't know how effective I'm being. So a few years ago, I found a tool that really helped me evaluate my social media efforts as well as that for my clients. It's called Clout, K-L-O-U-T. And I just co-authored a book with Terry Brock called Clout Matters, and that's because I really do believe that clout matters. It can be a fabulous tool for you to use to measure your social media efforts. So let me tell you a little bit more about Clout. Clout gauges it's a gauge, and it measures your social media, your ability to move information across the social networks on a scale of 1 to 100. 100 being the tops, nobody's there right now. President Obama is probably about a 94. Justin Bieber's probably a 92. The average is a 40. And if you're above 65, you're in the top 5%. So Clout it's a measure. And it measures you against other people, and it's public. So unlike your credit score, which is private, your Clout score is public, and you have one whether you know it or not, if you have a Twitter account, that is. Everyone who has a Twitter account automatically has a Clout score, and sometimes people are just horrified to know that people may be looking at their Clout score, evaluating their influence, and they didn't even know that they had one. So if you want to do what's called connect your networks so that you get a better score instead of just your Twitter score. So let me tell you where this came about and you know why companies are interested in this, and one of the reasons I got interested in this years ago, well, and still today, big companies they engage in what's called influence marketing, and that's where they'll hire someone like Tiger Woods or Ellen DeGeneres or Lance Armstrong to market their products, to show off their fancy watches and to drive the fancy cars and those sorts of things. Well, especially with a couple of the guys that I just mentioned earlier, you know where that influence marketing has gotten them. A lot of egg on their face and a lot of embarrassment. So what companies want to do now is reach citizen influencers, people like me, people like you, who we may not be world famous or have our own TV shows or be international golf stars, but we might have quite a few people who listen to us on the internet and who take advice from us about what we're saying. And of course, word of mouth has always been the most effective form of marketing. So now, thanks to the internet, thanks to tools like Clout, businesses can reach those influencers. For example, when Chevy Volt, the Chevrolet company, wanted to get more earned media, that's called earned media for their car, the Chevy Volt, they went to Clout and they said, hey, can you tell us who is really influential about cars and influential about the environment? We'd like to give those people a car to drive for the weekend, and if they like it, they can say something good about it. If they don't, they can say something bad about it. We'll learn from that. But as happens with a lot of the Clout perks, the people really, they're excited to get it. They're excited to share what they can about the company. So it earned the Chevrolet company a lot of earned media and a lot of social buzz about the Chevy Volt. Now, many other big companies have taken advantage of this. Disney, Sony, Motorola, American Airlines, Hershey's company, just many big companies, name brands that are using this. Now, so they're looking for you, the citizen influencer. Now, let's get back to how you use this as a gauge and how you can raise your own score. So when you're using it as a gauge, you know, I like to say you could be, if you are trying to lose weight, you could be dieting, you could be exercising, you could be eating all the right foods, but if you don't have a scale you don't really know how you're doing. So I want you to think about clout as a scale. And as much as other people are looking at you, I want you to use it to look at yourself. And Clout has some tools on the Clout platform that really help you with that. And right there on your profile, when you first log in, you're going to see how your score is doing, how it's done in the last 90 days. That's what they measure, and that's what determines your score. It's going to tell you which of your networks is the most where you have the most influence. It measures Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, Instagram, several other networks, and of those, right now, the ones that count the most by far are Facebook and Twitter, and that's because they have a lot of users and a lot of very active users. So make sure that you're posting consistently on Facebook and Twitter. That will certainly help your score, and it will help you to see which one of those, like it'll say, okay, your score is made up 30% of Facebook and 60% of Twitter and 10% of these other things. And so it helps you to understand that. Now, even more so, they have a thing called Clout Moments. And so for the last 90 days, they will actually show you which one of your Facebook posts, which one of your tweets got the most interaction. And interaction to them is what's going on in the public. So how many likes did it get for Facebook? How many comments on Twitter? How many retweets or @ replies? How many times was your name mentioned in an @ reply? Your Twitter handle was mentioned. So that's where it really helps you to say, oh, I forgot about that post. That was a good post. I could do something like that again, and that will be good for my Clout score. Another thing that Clout measures is called topics. So for me, I want to be known in the world as being an expert on Clout, surprise, Wikipedia, influence marketing. Wikipedia makes up a big part of your Clout score also. Influence marketing, social media strategy, things like that. And so Clout's going to tell me just naturally, am I posting about those things enough for people to think that I am an expert? And when you go to Clout, people can give you what's called a +K, which is sort of like a thumbs up that, yeah, I think Gina does know a thing or two about Clout. So come on over and give me a +K on any of my topics. That would be great. But you want to monitor your topics because although Clout will automatically assign you topics that they think you're an expert on and that you're talking about, you can modify that yourself. And you want to do what I call clean the Clout closet periodically and make sure that Clout is posted, that you have of your top topics, the ones that you want to be known for. For example, one time I was tweeting about a marketing campaign that Harley Davidson did. Well, the next thing I know, I'm known as an expert, topic expert on motorcycles. Well, no, I haven't had a motorcycle since I was 16 years old, but I was talking about the marketing part of it. So I just took that off and put marketing back on, and that's the way that works. But a lot of people did engage with me on that comment about Harley Davidson, and so it was logical that the computer, the Clout, thought that I was influential on Harley Davidson. So let me give you my quick ABCs of how to reach your Clout score. A, always be engaging. This is not just broadcast social media. This is engage, talk with people, retweet, share other people's posts, and answer people. B, be consistent. It's better for you to be posting once a day just for a brief period and sharing and interacting with people than it is to do once a day, once on Monday, and then you get back to it on Friday, and then next month you might get in there. It's better to be out there and active a little bit every day. And then C is connect. So I want you to connect all your networks, even if you're not very active on them, connect all those networks to your Clout account. That will help your Clout score a lot. And then connect with a lot of people. Connect with wonderful people like Maria and Ray, and connect with our friend Joel Comm that introduced us, and Terry Brock, my co-author of the book Clout Matters. And just connect with people, talk with them, and your Clout score will be sure to go up. So I hope that that's helpful to you to learn more about Clout.
So we'd love to hear about your upcoming projects, and of course where people can get the book and any websites you all would like to direct people.
So I would love to connect with you. My website is ginacarr.com, and all my social media links are there. My main bat channel is Facebook, so I'd love to see you there, but I do spend a lot of time on Twitter too. So Facebook and Twitter are my tools of choice. And we'd love for you to get our book. I hope you can see that, Clout Matters. We have a website, cloutmatters.com, and from there you can join our Facebook group where we have a great discussions about clout. You can ask questions, post your own advice, and we're constantly having courses and webcasts and things like that about clout. So just join our mailing list when you go to one of those websites, and you'll be sure to get more information.
So from our hearts to you, Gina, thank you so much. I know that we were experiencing some of the technical challenges and getting things moving, and a lot of this was last minute. We so appreciate your professionalism, the incredible content, your heartfelt sincerity of wanting to provide such great service to everyone, and there were times we had to do some cuts or do additional testing and whatnot. So we want to thank you so much, and we're looking to increase our own clout and hopefully increase ways to connect with you and to further build our relationship. And of course, we're going to learn more and more from Terry on that. So thank you so much for doing all that you do, and we appreciate you so much.
Well, I really enjoyed working with you guys. You know, great experience. You know, sent out information. We scheduled the tech check, and you know, when we did get together, you ran through some really important points. You know, just a great blend of humor and a great blend of comfort, but serious professionalism. And you know, you made sure that we knew the important points that were going to make the show successful or not. And so I really appreciate that and enjoyed it a lot.